Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she's in the same league as the men she's calling ugly? For reference, she's the type that always says she wants a boyfriend, she's lonely, and she wants to do couple things. She's also, in my opinion at least, very normal looking and average. Not ugly, just average. Not super hot, just all right. Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all of the men that are reaching out to her are ugly, short, etc. And that she doesn't match with anybody hot. I asked to see which people she was calling ugly, and so she showed me her likes, and it mostly showed people perfectly in her league, as in moderately attractive, etc. I told her that these guys were all in her league and she should give some of them a chance since she's always complaining about wanting to be in a relationship. She denied that she's in the same league as these individuals and said that she's much more attractive than them. I pointed out that in her own words, she doesn't match with any of the guys she does find attractive. So she's not in their league. She said I was an a-hole. Am I an a-hole? Well, let's talk about looks because obviously, being very young, she's 19, she's not mature in that area yet to know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Just because you like the way someone looks on the exterior, it doesn't mean that that person is a beautiful soul. It doesn't mean they're a beautiful person and from a behavioral standpoint. And once she gets a little bit older, she'll realize that her simply looking at exterior is going to prove to be a nightmare the older that she gets. She's going to realize that having someone that is a great person overall is going to trump what we consider beautiful or handsome in the long term. So when it comes to you, obviously, if she's 19, I would probably be able to say you're young as well. So those things should also matter to you in the future too. Saying that she's in the same league as the people simply because she's only matching with what you consider to be average looking people. See, this is the problem with seeking your friend's guidance when it comes to dating, because then your friends are going to sneak in some low blows, some petty behavior to make you feel like what you desire is wrong. Your friend has the right to desire what she wants. Not saying that what she wants is going to prove to be beneficial to her long term. Obviously, she's young. She hasn't had a lot of relationships. I would also venture to say that you haven't had a lot of relationships either. So you are being petty, attempting to humble her in some way to say, hey, I know you want someone that looks like this, but you look like this. So if you don't like the way they look, it doesn't matter because I think you're very average. So your behavior to humble her in this area is definitely very petty. It's definitely very immature because who are you to tell someone what they should accept in a relationship? Now, if she desires someone that looks a certain way, albeit that might not be a long-term lasting relationship for the future, right? Just because you feel a certain way about the way she looks, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it true either. That's the issue in these particular situations. Relationships cannot just be based upon looks. Using only looks to determine if a relationship will actually last it's going to be a major problem. Of course, people have what they consider to be beautiful. People have what they consider to be their top choices based on looks alone, which is the reason why so many relationships do not work, because you're only looking at the exterior. Then, when you get deep into that relationship, you realize this is not a good person at all. This person's attitude stinks. This person's personality stinks. The way this person treats other people stinks. Then guess what? Whether they're handsome or not, you're not going to stay in that relationship because the way you view things doesn't align with the way they view things. And you'll realize that aligning with someone, being equally yoked with someone when it comes to behavior, is going to trump looks. It should trump looks each and every time. However, let's see what Reddit had to say about this. I'm so glad I'm not 19 anymore. I 100% concur. I absolutely concur with this particular statement, because being young and honestly simple minded and knowing what's behind door number one, door number two, and door number three, when you only are choosing somebody based on looks, it can be detrimental to your mental health. I'm so glad I am smarter and wiser and realize that looks is not the only thing that matters these days. However, so many people still think that looks is the only thing that matters, and that's unfortunate. Nah, sometimes people need to hear the cold hard truth. That was a comment, but guess what? That's an opinion. And we all know that opinions are like, we all have them, okay? Just because someone thinks you're basic, and just because someone thinks that you're average, and just because someone thinks that you don't deserve the best. See, this is a life lesson for me. This is a lifelong lesson to talk about in this particular segment. It's because when somebody thinks a certain way about you, they don't think you deserve the best. They don't think you look like you deserve the best. They don't want you to have the best because they don't think they deserve the best. So let's all learn something from this particular segment and say, listen, I'm not saying that someone's opinion doesn't matter, but it should not be the end all be all for you when you are making lifelong decisions. Just because somebody thinks that you're average, that's not necessarily true, right? That is one person's opinion. It is how you move about your life, not being an average individual, going above and beyond and doing the right thing, being kind to other people. Your friend is not being kind to you, dear. So you are absolutely the a-hole in this situation.